situation I ever bothered with. My hair was a slightly bigger problem. Even after only 2 hours of sleep, it was already going in every direction. I smoothed it down as best I could and then coated it with a thick layer of hairspray in the hopes that would get me through whatever was to come. A light dusting of powder was the only makeup I put on. I had no time for anything more. The entire process took me all of 6 minutes, which might have been a new record for me. I sprinted down the stairs in perfect silence, careful again to avoid waking my mother. The living room was dark, but light spilled out past the not-quite-shut door of my father's study. Taking that as an invitation, I pushed the door open and slipped inside. A hushed conversation stopped at my entrance. My father eyed me from head to toe and showed his approval at my appearance in the way he knew best, by simply withholding criticism.
"Sydney," he said brusquely, "I believe you know Donna Stanton."
The formidable alchemist stood near the window, arms crossed, looking as tough and lean as I remembered. I'd spent a lot of time with Stanton recently, though I would hardly say we were friends, especially since certain actions of mine had ended up putting the two of us under a sort of vampire house arrest. If she harbored any resentment toward me, she didn't show it, though. She nodded to me in polite greeting, her face all business. 3 other alchemists were there as well, all men. They were introduced to me as Barnes, Michelson, and Horowitz. Barnes and Michelson were my father and Stanton's age. Horowitz was younger, mid-20s, and was setting up a tattooist's tools. All of them were dressed like me, wearing business casual clothing in nondescript colors. Our goal was always to look nice, but not attract notice. The alchemists had been playing men in black for centuries, long before humans dreamed of life on other worlds. When the light hit their faces the right way, each alchemist displayed a lily tattoo identical to mine. Again, my unease grew. Was this some kind of interrogation? An assessment to see if my decision to help a renegade half-vampire girl meant my loyalties had changed? I crossed my arms over my chest and schooled my face to neutrality, hoping I looked cool and confident. If I still had a chance to plead my case, I intended to present a solid one. Before anyone could utter another word, Zoe entered. She shut the door behind her and peered around in terror, her eyes wide. Our father's study was huge. He'd built an addition onto our house for it, and it easily held all the occupants. But as I watched my sister take in the scene, I knew she felt stifled and trapped. I met her eyes and tried to send a silent message of sympathy. It must have worked because she scurried to my side, looking only fractionally less afraid.
"Zoe,"
said my father. He let her name hang in the air in this way he had, making it clear to both of us that he was disappointed. I could immediately guess why. She wore jeans and an old sweatshirt and had her brown hair in 2 cute but sloppy braids. By any other person's standards, she would have been presentable, but not by his. I felt her cower against me, and I tried to make myself taller and more protective. After making sure his condemnation was felt, our father introduced Zoe to the others. Stanton gave her the same polite nod she'd given me, and then turned toward my father.
"I don't understand, Jared," said Stanton. "Which one of them are you going to use?" "Well, that's the problem," my father said. "Zoe was requested, but I'm not sure she's ready. In fact, I know she isn't. She's only had the most basic of training, but in light of Sydney's recent experiences..."
My mind immediately began to pull the pieces together. First, and most importantly, it seemed I wasn't going to be sent to a re-education center. Not yet, at least. This was about something else. My earlier suspicion was correct. There was some mission or task afoot, and someone wanted to sub in Zoe because she, unlike certain other members of her family, had no history of betraying the alchemists. My father was right that she'd only received basic instruction. Our jobs were hereditary, and I had been chosen years ago as the next alchemist in the Sage family. My older sister Carly had been passed over and was now away at college and too old. He'd taught Zoe as backup instead.